only chance you have no chance. If you had a chance, you can run lickety split. But you can't run because you're the baddest. Well, Ric Flair, you know what? I'm not a normal-looking athlete myself. You know what I'm talking about? I've been in the gyms a lot. It's a privilege and an honor to walk out with Ole Anderson, Lex Luger, and the Omni tomorrow night.
I am not a happy camper. What is Bully Ray's motivation? You know, I know he loves sugar. But I check my pocket. I don't have no donuts. I don't have no cheeseburger. I know you love sugar, but I ain't got none.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here in Nashville, Tennessee, pal. I'm the man.
Look at a match for the total package like Luger and Super Brawl. Super Saturday? What is it? I don't know what it's called. What is it called?
Super Brawl Saturday.
Super Brawl Saturday?
You don't lose faith in winners. And Ric Flair, day in and day out, every day of his life, just keep winning and winning and winning.
Ric Flair! New York City, Ric Flair! You're gonna find out what hard is all about! I do exactly what I want to do. You say I'm insane. I say thank you very much.
Make a good lucha thing.
I hate God!
Hit the deck! Yes! We love you, Scott Steiner!
Today, woo, I've got the star and profile like never before.
You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
Yeah.
Here I am. Rock you like a hurricane.
I just thought I'd give y'all some of that. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? It's Friday night. Jesus Christ. Friday night. It is Dirt Sheet Dudes. Thank God it's Friday because, goddamn, that means the weekend is coming up, and holy hell, I need the weekend, and I'll bet everybody else does too. What is going on, everybody? I am Boxman, and of course, if you're feeling the vibrations, that's because we got the Smark Wahlberg right over there. Sir, how are you tonight?
I am jazzed. How are you tonight, good sir?
I'm not sure how to answer that after jazzed. Good. I'm good.
It's not quite jazzed, but you're doing okay.
Jacked or jazzed?
Well, it could be either, but I said jazzed.
All right. Well, okay. I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad we're here. Thought we're gonna talk some wrestling, and I need this. I've had a fucking long week.
I need this.
Oh God! Like I said, man, y'all in my bar. Seriously, this is where I come. I drink a little. I talk some shit. Wife should be coming in with shot soon. I hope. We weren't planning on drinking tonight, but you know when you pass a liquor store, and it calls your name, it does. It called my name.
That's right.
And it didn't say Boxman. It called my real name. It said, Dave, you need some vodka tonight.
I didn't know that your wife sounded like a ghost.
No.
That
No.
sounds like, hey, we gotta stop. We're gonna stop.
No. It was the actual liquor store calling me.
On the phone. They're like, hey, it's been a week. You all right?
No, it didn't call me on the phone. It called me from the road. From the road, it called me, Smark. Next thing you know, I'm walking around the liquor store. Anyway.
But of course.
I mean, it happens. You know, it's Friday. I was happy to get out of work.
I'm almost certain that I told you this Friday, but I don't remember much of what I said Friday. So, did I tell you about the new local liquor store that I go to because I didn't move? I had gone in there to purchase some party supplies for the show last week. And I heard a peculiar noise. And I kind of turned my head. I was looking, and I was like, nah, I didn't hear what I thought I heard. And sure enough, I hear it again. They have a fucking parrot in the store.
Ah. Like one of those big, like African gray big sumbitches?
I guess technically the lady told me it was like a cockatiel, but
okay,
same shit to me. I don't know anything about birds.
Nice, a fucking bed. Got a bed. What's this?
Indeed.
What's this bed doing here?
Well, it was weird because like one of the stores that was nearby to my old home, it was like it's like all old timey, like Old West decked out, like the building itself and all the signage and all that. So I was like, of course I'm gonna go check that out.
Yeah.
I went in there just to kind of look around and immediately left because there were like no less than 3 cats just roaming around, and it looked like I was honestly expecting to see like some jugs with just XXX written on them. Like it looked like a very shady place. I have nothing wrong with mom and pop businesses. I love to support them, but this place just looked like they poured the liquor out, poured water in, and still charged the same price.
Yeah, I mean that's all we got around here at mom and pop's places, but
right.
That's it. That's what we got here. So this is a mom and pop little country town I'm in. So I'm loving it though here, man. I really am. It's really nice. And if the internet would work better, I'd be really even a lot more happier than I am now. But now I just got to fish. I am literally, like I said, I can throw a rock at the fucking across the street and I can see ripples in the lake. I haven't gone fishing yet. And that's why I'm here. So maybe Sunday. If not, I'm actually thinking of getting up a little early Thursday. Maybe going out for a little bit, then going to work. Since I can be late for work, they basically told me to be there around like lunchtime, like take lunch, then come in like at 1 o'clock, which gives me a 3-hour day. Might go ahead and get up and go fishing. Thinking about it.
There you go.
Be a nice little gift to myself. So I'm thinking about it, but. Yeah, man. You know, you get. Sometimes you just gotta go to the liquor store. Just have to go.
That's right.
Have to go. Like I said, man, it was calling my name. Sometimes it does that.
Well, you got to take your credit card to the liquor store because it's 2 for you and 1 for me by the night.
Oh, there you go.
We're riding on the night train. I did fuck up some of those lyrics, but hey, bear with me.
Well, you were ready to crash and burn, sir.
That's right. I'll never learn.
No. Fucking awesome.
Love that song. Mr. Brownstone too. Good shit. I like it.
Yeah, fucking, you know what, man? They got a lot of fucking GNR's got some great fucking songs, dude. You know what? I gotta tell you, Appetite for Destruction. There's not one song on that album that I will not fucking just crank the radio for. Not one. That really is one of the. You know, when they asked that, oh, what's one of the albums you can play just, you know, but front to back and not give a shit? That's one right there. Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction.
I get you. I mean, my mom was a big fan, so I've heard pretty much the entire catalog at least 5 or 6 times. So I can keep up with you on that.
Well, at least my wife knows those songs because she knows nothing else, but she loved Guns N' Roses, so somehow, whatever. At least she knows those songs. So I can play them, and she's like, yeah! All right, so that's good. It's a plus. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Know what I mean? It's a plus. It's a plus. I need some water. I got cotton mouth. I was taking a few hits before the show. I'll take a few during the show, as usual. Anyway, there you have it. But yeah, so I do have a few internet problems tonight. I have no Wi-Fi, but I've got internet on one computer. So I can still play music off the other one, do plugs, but that's all I can do, really. Otherwise, this computer is just like a fucking, like it's got a cast on. But that'll get fixed tomorrow. Looks like our modem is down, but I could not watch SmackDown. But we will go ahead and jump into a little Smark's Corner, and he can talk a little SmackDown after we're done. We have a shit load of news to get into. Smark, did you add news?
Didn't add news, not from the last time.
Oh, then what the fuck is going on here? Oh, it didn't calculate. God damn that messenger. Anyway, we do actually have a good amount of news to get into tonight. And listen, if we go off topic a little bit, that's all we really, need to go through. So we'll go ahead and, what's wrong, Sacha Baron Corbin, with the new picture?
Yeah, that is a picture.
I hope he's all right. He said he's not doing very well. Listen, man, it's Friday. You're sitting here. You're hanging out with us. I'm hanging out with you. Let's all have a good time, man.
Yeah, we're all family here. It's like the Olive Garden.
There you go. The Olive Garden. That, you know what, man? When we get a YouTube intro, I'm going to put that right there. We're the Olive Garden of podcasts.
Exactly. I will figure out what that means shortly, but exactly. we're bringing that big Olive Garden energy. Please believe that.
Well, we're going to need a video intro if we're going to, venture off into, the YouTube territory. So we can.
Now I just want to dub highlights of our show over at Olive Garden.
Oh, dude.
The audio will not sync up at all. It'll be worth it.
I am so putting a breadstick underneath that motherfucker. That's all I'm saying, dude. A fucking big, giant breadstick. Oh, God, that fucking dressing they use on that salad is so good.
Really?
They bottle it, dude. You can buy it. And seriously, if you
it's all right, but I feel like they just go too hard on it. It's just too much.
Oh, you can ask them for light. They do just leave them in the fridge, and they'll take out whatever you want. They'll put in whatever you want. You could ask them to go light on the dressing, or you can even ask for the dressing on the side.
There you go. Yeah, that's an idea.
My dad does that because he really doesn't like it all over the salad. So when I go with my dad, it's everything on the side. So, because he doesn't like onions, he doesn't like anything. So really, we get a salad with lettuce, and we all pick what we want.
Right. There you go. There's that.
Yeah, typical 70-year-old man.
That could mean so many things, but we'll just keep it moving.
There you go. We'll just keep it rolling here. But anyway, I guess on that note, I guess we can go ahead and, speaking of breadsticks, let's go ahead and get into plugs.
There you go.
Talk about a shoehorn. That was a shoehorn transition right there. Shit. That's because I didn't have my mouses or meese. My meese? Mouses? Mices.
Yes.
Anyway, I didn't have the plugs pulled up.
Derailing already. You gotta love it.
Dude, I don't even care, man. All we got is really, how long is SmackDown spoilers have been out since Monday?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Tuesday. So the fact, listen, if we talk about SmackDown, whatever, you can have your little segment there. If we don't, I don't know. You got anything to drink?
I have water, unfortunately, and that's about it.
The fuck is that shit?
Yeah. It's roughly 2% of what is in my alcohol most times.
I don't know if you caught last week's title, but I thought it was kind of clever if you really looked at it correctly.
I didn't look at much correctly over that weekend.
Well, the name of I named the show Almost Slurring Smark.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just take those first three letters, and I thought it was kind of clever.
Ah, yes. Sorry, I'm the Nikki Ash of this particular program.
The Nikki Ass of this program.
Oh, yes, this is true.
Which I would also motorboat. When are we going to do plugs? What the fuck?
Well, speaking of things you want to plug. See, there's a transition. How about that?
See, I told you the wife be walking in with a shot very soon tonight. What happens? Wife walks in with a shot. Give me a second here, guys. Cheers to Friday night, guys. Thanks for joining us. And a cheers.
Yeah.
Bang.
Shout out to Michael Smith in the chat here. Always nice to have you aboard.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Oh, let that get cold. Spin it in the ice or something. Oh, put some salt on that ice. Hey, quit kicking the bubble wrap. The fuck? You don't
It's
kick.
not a phrase I expected to hear tonight.
Well,
Kicking the bubble wrap.
I don't know why my kids have bubble wrap in their room anyway, but that's a question that can be answered later. Let's go ahead and get these plugs knocked out since I'm in control of it. I'm not blaming you, Smark. I know it's my fault. So let's go ahead and get these bad boys knocked out quickly. So let's go ahead and do this right now. Of course, that means quickly after you listen to this, very quickly, I want you to go listen to the fucking High Marks. That's right. It's Cheeseman Mojo and G Wiz, and you should be checking them out. If you are not, are you crazy? You should be absolutely listening to those guys. 8:30 p.m. on Sunday nights. You need to go directly to mixer.com/Metal Mitt Network. That's right, 2 T's and Mitt. Go right there. Check out those guys, or find them on YouTube. Or I think they're on all of you. Are they on all of these podcast platforms too, Smart?
They are.
I thought they were. And, of course, you've got Bobby Anthem and Bobby Blades right there. The Inhumans. They are on the Inhuman Experience. Go subscribe. Trust me. Binge listen. You will thank me later, and I will accept it later. Find them on all the usual podcast platforms. And, of course, you got the Everything Unscripted Wrestling podcast. That's Eric. That's Doug. That's Daniel. Great guys over there. Looking forward to the next time I jump back on with them. Hopefully going to be soon. We will see. But definitely check those guys out. Blog Talk Radio, all the usual podcast platforms. And, of course, if you want to go review some movies, if you want to see what a movie is like before you watch it that you have not seen, definitely you want to go over to Stephen Milan. Check him out. Letterboxd, BOXD.com/Stephen Milan. Make sure you add 2 L's in that last name, Milan. He is reviewing those films. Go check them out. And, of course, you guys know where to find us. You can find us on Spreaker. You can find us on iHeart, YouTube, Anchor, Stitcher, Google, TuneIn, Player, Smart.
You got it. Mondays, 8:30 on the Middle Mid Podcast Network. Be sure to listen to Cheese on Sports. Cheese Man. Sundays, 10:30 a.m. on the Middle Mid Podcast Network. Also on the Mixler Machine. Be sure to check out the Modirk City Machine Guns with Mojo and with Dirk. And last but never least, and I do not recommend that you listen to these quickly like you suggested. I recommend that you listen to this one nice and slow because you got to let it marinate. You got to spend your time with Planet Raconteur. It's the Planet Raconteur podcast with Bobby Anthem, Papa Dave, Sincere, and Yuck Nasty. Season 1 complete. You can access all of the episodes. Season 2 rolling along. Be sure to check them out wherever you get your podcast.
There you go. Of course, check out Bobby Anthem anywhere he's at. Because, you know, Smart, they call Eric Clapton the slow hand because he's so good and smooth at playing the guitar. Bobby Anthem's like the slow hand of podcasting.
I like it.
Just got that voice. Just something about it. Unfortunately, I'm not a big Eric Clapton fan. But anyway, actually, it's one song. One song.
Necessarily needed.
No, I'm joking.
Don't draw a comparison to somebody. Actually, I don't like them.
No, I'm
like,
joking.
You know, Bobby Anthem's a lot like Brett Favre. Despise the guy.
No, I'm kidding. It's one song by Clapton I cannot stand. Every other song, it's just blame a girl. Blame a girl on the one song. There's just one thing, one song. She Looks Wonderful Tonight. I hear that song and I want to break something.
You do not think She Looks Wonderful Tonight.
Blame a girl. Blame a girl. Blame a girl.
There you go. 85% of music is based on blaming a girl.
Mm-hmm.
If motherfuckers did not get dumped, we would have nothing to listen to.
Nah. Otherwise, Clapton's fucking awesome. That's the only song I despise him for making. I actually wish someone else made that song that I could hate, so I wasn't Eric Clapton, to be honest with you. But,
yeah, I think if I would have to compare it, would it be fair to say he's like the Isaac Hayes?
Oh, Jesus.
You got the power there.
Might even be Luther Vandross, just scares bitches into liking him, as Eddie Murphy would say. You got what I need. All right.
Well, we did put over the fact that he is 6'6" before last episode. So you just kind of look and you just kind of figure that everything kind of matches. you know that you want to make the right decision there.
That's right. There it is. Hide your wives, everybody. Bobby Anthem's on the air.
I have to ask him at some point because we do this shtick. High Marks do this shtick. Like pretty much everywhere that he goes, that he hangs out at, they do this shtick. And like, I really have to wonder sometimes how it feels to just like hear like all of your friends talk about how women want to fuck you. It's really weird. Like at least 5 or 6 of us have talked about the fact that he probably has a ginormous penis, and I mean that's a good ego boost, but that's still gonna be weird. It's like, guys, I just want to share my evening with you.
Yeah, then he talks to us and he's like, "Oh, guys, I'm so shy." And this and that.
Guys, I brought a fruit tray. All right.
Yeah, he's
like,
such
a little vulgar.
Oh, there you go. He's such a humble guy. He's such a just. He's that humble guy that'll be fucking your wife and you don't even know it. Anyway.
Give you a thank you card on the way out.
I'm gonna be so nice, so my wife just stays here with me. Not Boxman's wife. No, never.
Weird comparison here that we've been talking.
Jesus Christ!
We've been talking. Well, we in the chat room have been talking about Miss Nikki Ash here because we did bring her up a couple minutes ago. And I think I believe I've said this before, but it holds true. I said that she's a rather fetching young lady, but I do not care for the accent. I normally enjoy accents, but it just that one. It's kind of hard to get into somebody when they sound like Shrek. But Michael Smith replies to that she indeed is rather fetching. He does not mind the accent, but it's not like she's Scrooge McDuck.
She's got layers like onions.
She does have layers, yes.
Layers like onions.
Donkey punch. I didn't know how to cleverly word that in, so I just needed to say it. Like, can I build a bridge here? No, I couldn't, so I just fucking kept on moving.
What's the password to the bridge? It's a question, Smark.
That is a good question.
I don't know. All right, I guess there's wrestling to get into. I'd rather just sit here and bullshit the rest of the fucking night and do a few more shots.
That technically was wrestling related. Like, very slightly, ever so much, but...
Let's see, we got into Clapton, we got Slow Hands, Bobby stealing wives. Well, how the fuck was that? Oh, the stealing wives. Okay, now I get
weird
it.
That you were checking off a already written list that says show notes. I thought this was off the cuff. You've tricked me.
There we go. That's what. No, I that was, believe it or not, that was in my vodka riddled mind. But I don't know. Listen, guys, I'm not sitting here saying Nikki's like the perfect woman. She's no Mandy Rose. But when you look at her, she's the crazy chick with the great. She's got a really nice. Dude, there's pictures of Nikki that y'all haven't even seen. I wish we were on YouTube right now. I'd go pull up a few. But
I'm not going to list off my personal favorites because you would realize very quickly that I have a specific type, and I don't know if it's acceptable to have a specific type in this variety anymore.
I think it is.
Let's see. Let's just say that I really enjoy Evilise and Thunder Rosa, and that they have something in common, but who knows what they have in common? They're both wrestlers. That's it.
Ooh, you like the exotic women. Evilise, I always thought she was hot. She really is a beautiful girl. On the outside, doesn't really dig down to the inner souls. This is Mark, is all I'm saying.
Well, she has a rather problematic personality, which can be fun at times.
Could be.
You have to make sure that you don't leave any sharp objects around her, but otherwise you're good.
And Thunder Rosa is an even sexier Rosie Perez, if that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how. I don't know if that's a bad thing to say, but Rosie Perez was hot in the '90s. Thunder Rosa is like a new Rosie Perez to me. I don't know. She's got that little accent. She's got a great body, great face, just great. Just a badass, which is even better. I don't know. Anyway. See, we kind of brought it to wrestling, Smart.
Oh, yeah.
Kinda.
We got there.
We did. So, anyway, let's limp along here on one computer. I feel so...
Limp was a very interesting choice of words.
I feel so Oh, shut up.
Oh, shut up.
Just shut up.
You just basically Gorilla Monsooned me. He was like, will you stop?
God damn it, brain. I don't think he ever said that. He might have. Anyway, let's travel back to Wednesday night a little bit. Talk about AEW a little bit, Smark. I hope you don't mind. I don't think you will. We got to talk about something, don't we? So let's start with a little bit of AEW things. First of all, before we get into anything, let's start with the ratings. They did well. They were down a whole 3.5% from last week. But that's not a big deal to me, really. I mean, 3.5. They weren't down very much at all. 1.108 against last week's 1.148. I don't find that a big difference, to be honest with you. So there's that. So they did very well in the ratings. The highest rating for the night, though, was, of course, the Nick Gage versus Jericho match. Most definitely was. So that's a good thing. But as we didn't talk about it because I wasn't sure it was going to happen. But as expected, I guess, Smark, little backlash from some sponsors.
Yes.
Mainly Domino's. And I think if it wasn't for social media bringing it up every 15 seconds, I don't think anybody would have caught it. I didn't catch it. We didn't talk about it. Did you catch it and we didn't mention it, or were you not paying attention?
I got to admit, I kind of zone out when they use the phrase picture in picture. So there's your answer there. I totally agree with you, though, that if it were not for social media, this wouldn't happen because you have two different camps.
Right.
You have the camp that thinks this is funny, just like, it's a meme. And so they contact Domino's and they're like, you guys should sponsor Nick Gage. You use a pizza cutter during your commercial. You got those people that think it's funny and think it's a meme or whatever. And then you have, I didn't even think about these people until I was listening to some other shows, but you have like the WWE diehards, or you have the Jim Cornette fans that hate everything AEW does. And there's been people purposely going onto Twitter and just like telling Domino's that this happened, that this offends their sensibilities and their family was watching and so on and so forth. You have social media snitching. I cannot believe that this is a thing, but people were snitching after AEW.
I know they're just trying to be clever and like, oh, look how detailed I can be, but sometimes you just got to shut the fuck up. And Domino's did. Now, listen, I got to be honest with you. I think they might have known they were going to get some backlash from someone. They just didn't know who. If you lose Domino's, what? What? Yeah. The Noid. Shut up. They did put out a little statement. Domino's did. But obviously, this comes down to just to not reiterate, but kind of give a little explanation. Nick Gage cuts Chris Jericho with a pizza cutter. Not once, but twice. Again, I still think Jericho told him to do it again because it didn't work as good as it should have the first time. And they put out a little statement. We share the concerns expressed about this incident and the content of this TV 14 rated program and are assessing our advertising presence on it going forward. That's kind of, what would you call that, Smart? Not really. I got to be honest. It's a good word jumble of an answer, but doesn't say very much. It kind of says we're going to look at it, but we're not really going to pull anything right now, which means they're not going to pull it at all.
It's a good way to get people to stop tweeting at you. It's like, yeah, we know already. Shut the fuck up.
Yes, there you go. Perfect explanation with just those few words. We know. Shut the fuck up. We'll not do a damn thing about it.
Well, and like I heard it brought up on the Observer, and I feel like it's a good point. Domino's sponsors other programs on TNT or whatever. They do movies and shit like that. And there's commercials for Domino's in between the movies. TNT shows all kinds of movies where people die and people get murdered all the time. There's all kinds of just like criminal activity in some of these movies. And I'm not saying that these movies should be censored, but I'm saying that like if it's not a problem for there to be a Domino's commercial after like a scene where a guy gets shot in the face, why is it a big deal in pro wrestling when somebody gets stabbed with a box cutter, or not a box cutter, a pizza cutter, during a Domino's commercial, picture in picture? But it's not that big of a deal, really.
No, don't bring me into this with the box cutter. But by the way, I don't know if anyone knows this, but do you know whose decision it is where and when to run commercials, Smart?
The network?
No. No. It's not.
Okay.
It's up to AEW.
Yes.
It's up to AEW when to run commercials. It's up to AEW when to run what commercial, when, at what time. Blaming Domino's, people, just so you know, some people are out there blaming Domino's, and I'm like, you're blaming Domino's for Nick Gage cutting someone with a pizza cutter?
Which is a great thing to do if like if they're not doing anything wrong yet, or they're not like openly complaining yet. Bombarding them with angry tweets is really going to be a good way to get them on Nick Gage's side.
No, not at all. Not at all. Now, real quick, Tony Khan. I'm just gonna jump in. If you didn't notice, Smark, I had a few that we were just gonna tie into one, and I was gonna just kind of roll them all into one here. And I'm doing it right now. You just roll with it, brother. Tony Khan actually said he did get approval from TNT executives on booking that match on AEW Dynamite. On the Wrestling Observer, this was yesterday, so that's when it was done. He said exactly this. Now, Meltzer said this right here. Now, TNT, I know Tony Khan talked with TNT ahead of time and basically told them what was going to happen. So they're okay with it. It's not an issue where they're going to get kicked off the air, which would be very bad if they did something violent without telling them. And it was bloody with broken glass and everything. Meltzer added that this match was a one-time thing, but if the quarter-hour ratings are good, that could change. Well, guess what? That match did draw the biggest rating of the night.
Right.
Absolutely did. So now what? You bring Gage back for another death match for somebody? Is that how you pop another rating? Or I don't know. The fact that I understand why Tony talked to him about it. He wanted to make sure he wasn't going to do anything to get kicked off the air or breach of contract, I'm sure.
Right.
Smart move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a little curious to see what this ends up leading to, because like you said, they had really good ratings. That was the highest rated segment of that show.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, like we just got done talking about, it did anger one of their sponsors inadvertently. Like it was just a weird coincidence, but that ended up happening the way that happened, played out the way that it played out. But I am a little bit worried that we're not going to see as much risque type stuff that we've been seeing, because I mean, we had a death match. They didn't call it a death match, of course. We talked about that, but it was a death match for all intents and purposes. Yeah. And this episode of AEW, and then the week before it was a Texas. I believe they called it a Texas death match. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong, but I don't think they changed the verbiage up on that between Moxley and Archer. So you've been having these more, envelope pushing matches, the kind of matches that you won't find on WWE TV at the moment. And I'm a little bit worried that we're not going to be seeing those quite as much because of what happened. But at the same time, they've been doing good numbers off the backs of those. So probably not going anywhere, but a little bit of cause of concern anyway.
Yeah, and listen, if they're going to have a working relationship with GCW, you might even see some more guys come on over.
See, that I don't know about, because like we were talking about Wednesday, the clips that they used of Nick Gage were not credited to GCW. It wasn't like courtesy of GCW. It was credited by like the fans that took the videos of them. like from live shows. So I don't know what their exact relationship with GCW is, but I will say that they have been, like other GCW talent has been on Dark. Matthew Justice, I was on and did a tag match a couple weeks ago. There's been a couple other ones, but just off the top of my head, that's what sticks out.
All right. Yeah, I mean, and none of us know their working relationship. I guess it'll kind of, but I got to tell you, on social media, GCW is pushing the shit out of AEW. AEW is pushing the shit out of GCW.
Yeah, and I would say actually, now that I think about it, I have seen they did a show in Texas, I want to say it was, and there was like a big banner for Fight for the Fallen, I think, or Fighter Fest. I forget what the date of the show was and what the corresponding AEW show would have been, but there was an ad. I've seen ads for AEW shows, banners during GCW shows, so it seems like all is well. I haven't heard anything about hostility between the two.
No, neither have I. But I got to tell you, man, there was a lot of hate for Nick Gage on social media that I saw. A lot of people were not liking that match right there. Oh, Nick Gage can't even throw a punch, this and that. First of all, yeah, he can. Maybe Jesus Christ, the guy's fucking in front of the biggest crowd he's ever been in front of. Can we give him one match to not look fucking amazing? And I thought he still went out there and did fucking great. I don't know. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed both guys. I like Nick Gage, but a lot of hate for this guy. But Smark, I got to tell you, there's this account on Facebook. I know it's not the real MJF. I know it's not the real one. But he had a little clever thing he put out. He has a picture of Jericho pinning Nick Gage down. He's got glass bleeding everywhere. Both of them are. And he said, kind of made a little pun on the old MDK all fucking day. MDK, no fucking pay. You had one job. There's no way Britt's going anywhere near those fangs of yours now. You'll have to buy some pliers. Fuck Nick Gage.
Fangs. Wow. Fangs.
If you don't follow this
Holy
account...
shit, that's an idea, though. We did mention on Dynamite that she mentioned that she needed somebody to watch her back. There could be a very obvious mutualism amongst the two. She provides him with dental work, and he is like her henchman.
Oh, my God, dude. That would be fucking brilliant right there. Mm-hmm. Literally, that would be AEW tailing off of the joke, getting the joke, running with the joke, and if done correctly, could be some of the most beautiful fucking wrestling we've seen in a long time.
The promos would be magnanimous. Just absolutely wonderful.
Could you imagine Nick Gage and Britt Baker doing promos together?
It's just him at her office, and like while he's waiting for her to come in, looking for shit that he could steal to use in death matches.
Can I borrow this motherfucking my nitrous tank?
I could believe it. I could see it happening. That would be wonderful.
I got like a shitload of balloons at home. I have no clue what to do with them.
Let me borrow this drill for a minute.
This drill would do wonders.
I actually really want this now.
Jesus Christ. Britt Baker all fucking day.
There you have it. There you have it.
Say ah. Ah. All right. I think I'm a little buzzed.
Maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. If I start slurring, we can figure out a nice little, kind of clever title for me too.
I was gonna say, you drove the ship last week. I'll do you a solid this time around. I'm still good to go. I'm the designated driver for this particular edition.
I still think we should both start a cameo and do the Nick Gage cameos, the un-PC Nick Gage cameos.
Well, the only thing I'm afraid of about this is that Nick Gage himself has a cameo. So I don't want him getting wind of this.
He does. We've played him on the show. The one where he's telling a kid about potty training.
Mm-hmm.
We've played these.
Walking around what appears to be like a Big Lots.
I would look right now if he had any new ones, but we can't play them. I could play them, but you wouldn't hear them.
Right.
I could share my screen. Nah, fuck it. But anyway, I like Gage. I thought the match was good. I'm not saying this was like match of the year fucking quality. The match was good, though. The match was very good. Nick Gage did. Jericho took a fucking beating. Nick Gage did his job. No matter, again, I know this MJF fake account said you had one job. Yeah, he did it. He did the job that he was supposed to do. Went out there and he made Jericho a bloody mess, and Jericho pulled out the fucking win to be the underdog babyface that we all want him to be.
Right.
So, but there's a ton more on that. Now, Domino's Smark.
Yes.
Might have started pulling away. But one product decided to embrace what was going on. And that's Pabst Blue Ribbon.
But of course.
Now, I have never had a Pabst Blue Ribbon, to be honest with you.
I have, yes.
I just haven't. I don't know why. But anyway. All right. Well, anyway. They're okay? Okay. Compare it to Miller High Life. Can you do that?
Okay. Can I, or are you saying, is it comparable, or can I compare it to that?
Like, comparable to High Life.
See, I'm not a big beer person, so I can't draw parallels that well. I don't think it is. It's more of like your average kind of, just like a Budweiser, or fucking, whatever.
Okay.
Your standard beer that you would get at like the store.
Okay. Tell you what, next time I get beer, I'm going to buy Pabst. We've got it here. We've got it. I'll get some.
Well, actually, there is a quick story behind this, because I got the one time that I had Pabst, I was underage. I was 19 or 20, and I was having my uncle buy it for me, as well as some other. He just made a run to the liquor store. So, like, I have the six-pack in my hand, and I'm nervous. I'm, like, a little bit nervous because I'm doing something that I'm not supposed to be doing. I'm, like, trying not to get caught because I want to get this beer. Well, anyways, I have the six-pack in my hand, and we're walking through the grocery store, and whatever, just per chance, one of the bottles ended up separating from the six-pack, and it just drops on the floor and just fucking shatters, and it's just as loud as humanly possible. It sounds like somebody got hit with a light tube, to go back to the Nick Gage thing. It sounds like a light tube shot, because fucking glass explodes everywhere, and like I'm feeling embarrassed because I've now called as much attention to myself as humanly possible. So like I'm nervous. I'm like trying to figure out a way to clean it, and my uncle thinks it's fucking hilarious. So he's making it worse by just going, "God, you don't have to come over here and break shit. What's wrong with you? You drinking those already?" Just being as loud as humanly possible and making me as embarrassed as humanly possible, because that's what good friends do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's fucking hilarious, dude. Just. Shit. All right. So I need a Pabst. I'll buy some. Never had PBR. I like watching PBR, but that's professional bull riding. Obviously different. But dude, they jumped right in. First of all, with Domino's trying to disavow and pull ads from AEW for the match. Immediately, PBR says, "This ain't it, Domino's." And then went, "Yo," at AEW on TNT. Let us get those spots. But it doesn't stop there, Smark. Okay?
Right.
They put up a picture of a Pabst Blue Ribbon can connected to a pizza cutter. And all they said on Twitter was 2 words. Do you know those 2 words?
What's that?
Gang affiliated. MDK all fucking day. Hell yeah. That's not it, Smart. Step 1 in their plan, Tony Khan started following Pabst Blue Ribbon.
This is a very weird way to win over a sponsor, and also this is probably a good thing for Gage because I think he's like the only wrestler that has directly brought over a sponsor to the company.
Oh,
Like they gave him a chance, and now they have like a deal,
dude,
or a pseudo deal in place with PBR. So good for him, good for them.
within the next month, I expect to see a PBR commercial on AEW. I wouldn't doubt if Gage starts wearing fucking PBR fucking shorts or a shirt to the ring. Dude, I'm telling you, this could be a really, really good thing for Nick Gage.
And that is actually not an uncommon phenomenon because there is a wrestler primarily in the Midwest, goes by the name of Eric Cannon, who is literally sponsored by PBR, like officially sponsored by PBR. He wears their fucking logos on his tights. They pay him money to wrestle and wear their shit for them.
Yeah, well, Gage might be their other guy. Now, after...
It's such a weird thing to
yeah,
build up a bunch of different sponsorships with different wrestlers. It's a weird way to build your brand, like because you get I watched a podcast. That makes no fucking sense. I listened to a podcast.
You can.
Yeah, there's video components to some of them.
Yeah.
But they were talking about how Jägermeister originally was marketed as this like thing for the elite. It was supposed to be this fancy drink that snobs partaked in, but then when they actually started bringing it out in front of these people who had these like refined palates, and people said that it just was fucking terrible. Like everybody was hating it. So they decided that they were just going to do a complete 180, and they were going to like start marketing it towards like in like punk clubs and all these like metal bands and shit. We're going to start sponsoring them, and then they started like sponsoring X Games and Extreme Sports and shit like that. They just completely pivoted. They're like, all right, well, we're going to go as far from snobs as possible. We're going to go to these people, and it fucking worked for them.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, listen, when I first started playing poker, when I moved here at the club that I used to play at, they had a Jaeger machine, dude. Ice cold, literally just before freezing temperature shots poured out of that machine. It was beautiful. Fucking beautiful. I keep telling
so popular around here that most of like liquor stores in at least the Chattanooga area, they have them in the freezer. Like anytime you buy a bottle, you bring it to the counter. Like, you want this for cold? Like, of course I want this cold. Yeah.
Keep telling my wife to buy one of those and we can put the vodka in it, but she won't listen to me, dude.
It's not as expensive as you think.
They're not. They're really not. You can find those things online for a good, $250, $300. That's not bad. So, used, of course, but they'll still work. After Tony Khan followed PBR, next tweet from them was DMs open at Tony Khan. Dude, they are just fucking. I mean, this is like a chick that just won't leave you alone. This is like you fucked a virgin and don't remember it, and she won't stop calling you. Literally. Next thing you know, PBR puts up a post of a screenshot of I would say it's an iPhone, deleting the Domino's app. And their two words once again here, future endeavored. PBR is fucking awesome right now to me. And of course, Matt Cardona, again, being the great, Smark, we're going to tie yours into this. Being the great heel he is, went ahead, I don't know where he got this, but he put hi at Domino's. He has the John Cena purple t-shirt, with the circle cross out, you can't, me. And he has a pizza cutter in the middle of the circle with the line crossed out. So it's you can't pizza cutter me, basically. Fucking Zack Ryder, man, is really like the creative mind I don't think any of us knew about. Seriously, dude. Seriously. And PBR replied to him undefeated. But, just to kind of transition a little bit. This is awesome. PBR is doing awesome. But again, former Matt Cardona, former Zack Ryder, has just become such a a pleasure at what he's doing.
Right.
You know, again, I think he's the heel none of us expected we needed, but we need this guy. He is
Right.
he is not only being a heel, but he is pissing off and trolling the shit out of these fucking MDK guys who think they're in a fucking gang.
Right. You know, he's doing a great job with it. And like, I don't know, it's one of those things where I talked about this at least a lot with Moxley when Moxley ended up coming back or, you know, leaving WWE. It's like they work so hard sometimes, WWE, and this definitely happened with Cardona, is that they work so hard to like just break their spirit so that any form of like creativity is just gone, and they just like husk of their former selves, and then they get out and they're actually allowed to think for themselves and have their own ideas and actually have them be approved. That you just forget that they're capable of this shit. Like you forget that at one point, you know, Zack Ryder was putting out those, you know, YouTube videos and was doing a lot of creative and interesting shit, and that's how he got over in the first place. But then they spent so much time making him look out an afterthought that he's been gone for them company for well over a year, and like he's just now starting to rebuild his image.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I think the fact that Cardona is out there doing what he did actually did well for AEW. And again, dude, you know what, Smark? You got two you can get into here. You kind of got the little numbers here broken down a little bit. You want to go through that real fast?
The numbers for...
Or was that me? I didn't post that. You posted that, right?
Let me see. Let me go through here real quick.
No, it was probably me because it's on a Solid Monster thread.
Yeah, it's definitely you then. I don't follow Solid Monster.
Yeah.
That's why I was taken aback by that. I was like, the numbers for what exactly?
Well, listen, I mean, you start out at the beginning of the show. You've got this graph shows the 18 to 49, and then the P2, which is the basically all viewership. We're going to go by the all viewership line, P2 plus, total viewership. You start out the show with 1.153. All right, that was the Adam Page and Dark Order, all that shit. Then you go to 1.154. All right, so you gain a few viewers right there for the, Page and Silver and Reynolds, all that shit right there. Their lowest of the night, let's just go with the lowest, which I got to tell you, it just shocks me a little bit, was the Santana and Ortiz versus FTR match.
I'm picturing poor now I almost call him Santana.
See?
Poor Santana in a very different light now.
Might have been a Freudian slip. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to say it. Prepare for it. I blame FTR being some boring son of a bitches on this match.
There was that. There was also the fact that I believe that was the match that followed the 5-man tag. And there were people that were kind of deflated about the whole Adam Page losing thing. Because, I mean, I've seen a lot of people that were and I think it's a good thing, actually, but there's a lot of people that were very up in arms about that were just sad or angry or just frustrated, disappointed, whatever. I've seen a lot of people saying that they just felt deflated after that.
Well, that quarter hour consisted of the finish of that match, the Pac interview, the quarter hour before it that you were talking about was the Pac interview with Andrade and the Taz, Stark, and Cage. So they had a lot more before that started for the television audience to trying to keep their captivation. You know what I mean? Try and keep them with it. But they didn't. I'm telling you, dude, I blame FTR. I still say they are so boring. They are so bland. I don't know where this whole, they're going to go on the indie scene and blow it the fuck up.
Well, I mean, they've had good matches, which is...
Good.
Yeah, that's about it. That's the thing, though, is like we've talked about this before. We've talked about this a bunch of times. That's the problem. Is like it's no longer. It's a good thing, I guess, for us as fans. But it's no longer good enough to just be good wrestlers. Like you can't
Right.
make being a good wrestler your thing anymore because there's so many fucking good wrestlers.
Right. Yeah, and you know, we got you know, people in the chat room saying, "Oh, Christopher Kane, actually, welcome to the chat. Appreciate you stopping by." Says it was during the women's gymnastics. I get it, dude. I get it. I know, but still, their highest draw for that night was Chris Jericho and Nick Gage, 1.179. So, you know, if you really take the numbers, like, you know, Tony Khan said, and you may see Gage again. I think you might see him in another spot in AEW. And I think that would not be a bad idea at all, coming off the heels of a great number for that final segment. Listen, you want to start a show strong and you want to end a show strong. They did both. They started with 1.153. They ended with 1.179. I think they did their job with this match.
Sure. I mean, I thought it was pretty much from top to bottom. I really enjoyed the show. I mean, I was hearing the common complaint was that just some things didn't go as long as people had hoped for. Obviously, there was that injury in the FTR Santana and Ortiz match, but even just things outside of that, there was some people were talking about that they were kind of disappointed that certain matches weren't lasting as long as they had hoped. Like the Thunder Rosa match was pretty short too. That was another like complaint that I had saw, but outside of that, like I would honestly rather a match go a little short than go too long. I would rather want more than just be bored. So,
yeah,
you know,
and you know, again, Christopher Kane brings up people wanted to see what would happen. I agree. Everyone wanted to see what Nick Gage was going to do. I don't think anyone expected Jericho to lose this match. Everyone wanted to see what Nick Gage was going to do to Jericho. And then we knew Jericho was going to come out from the bottom and win.
right?
But again, the guy took a fucking beating, man. A hell of a fucking beating. And of course he won. Oh, stupid. He takes that kind of beating and fucking wins. Shut the fuck up. You knew Jericho wasn't fucking losing. It's the fucking way the storyline is going.
Right. Yeah, he at the very least has to make it to the fifth one.
Right. He's got to make it to fucking MJF. Of course he does. Real quick, I want to read a... Oh, I was hoping it was a shot. Tell mommy shot, Logan. All right, my man. All right.
Sound like kind of a king there. Fetch daddy his liquor.
Tell mommy shot. I mean, shoot someone I'm going to tell her to shoot. Okay, no.
Young steed, fetch my mead post haste.
Have my winch grab my liquor. All right.
That's a bold choice of words.
I am shutting the fuck up before she comes in here and hears me. Anyway, two quick things, Smark, before we wrap up this nigga. I really couldn't believe the backlash, the hate for Nick Gage. Listen, the same people that praise the fucking Briscoe brothers, and I do mean the ROH Briscoe brothers, you know, are the same people that are sitting there like, God, Nick Gage is all fucked up teeth and ugly. You know, he's out there. What? So what? And you know what? Booker T put it very well. Yep, Booker T. I'm going to quote Booker T from his podcast. He actually says a very smart thing about Nick Gage, and I think he's right. And here we go. To quote Booker T, if everyone in this business had the same thought process as Nick Gage, the business would be in a much better place. I say that because we are in an era of social media. Everyone wants to get their word out, out to their followers. But this guy, Gage, you pull up photos of him and he's never smiling. He's got the same look on his face in every photo you see of him. There's a picture of a guy that's getting ready to go into a death match each and every night. He's the real deal. The guys in AEW, WWE, and Impact can learn a whole lot from Nick Gage. If everyone walked along that same line and took this thing as seriously as this guy does, it would be a much better place, says Booker T. Booker T gets it. He gets Nick Gage, and he gets it. Dude, again, me and Shaheen back in the old THT days, we spoke to Nick Gage. He was open. He was honest. He was a good guy. Now, again, I'm going to contribute that to he knows Shaheen very well. He was comfortable talking to him. I was just another guy on the fucking line running this shit. But he's look. I've said 1,000 times on this show, we can't judge a man by his like worst moment in his life, or the worst day, or the worst thing. You just can't. He robbed a bank. I get it. I know he did. He's done drugs. He's done drugs. Oh. So? You know how many guys in wrestling have done fucking drugs? Do you know? And I saw a lot of people, fucking AEW brought in a convicted felon. Do you know how many wrestlers have felonies on their records? You want to look that up? You might fall out of your fucking computer chair in your fucking basement with your Cheetos. Put them down.
Right. Right. Well, and you know what I was saying? You know what's another interesting thing? Yeah, okay. You know what he has been charged with? Robbing a bank. You know what he hasn't been charged with? Fucking sexual assault or harassment by any of his coworkers. That's kind of an important thing. Like, Nick Gage is not walking out here with his dick pulled down. You know what I mean? He's a good lad.
Exactly. Oh, he made a mistake and fucking did his time, came back, and is literally trying to change his life. He's shown it, dude. The guy is not out there. The guy looks good. He's not in bad shape. He's actually in pretty decent shape. He made a mistake. He paid his dues. He went to prison. Not jail. I didn't say jail. He went to prison. Okay? He did his time. He got out. He's trying to change his life. When people were making fun of him that one time he did commentary and he's thanking everyone for showing up and this and that, oh my God, look, Nick Gage is thankful people are fucking coming to the shows, and, you know, he's got a little bit to do with this GCW company. He's got a piece of it somehow, some way.
Right.
So he's passionate about it. And he's also trying to change his life. I don't like this new Nick Gage. Oh, so you're going to shit on him so he goes back to being the old Nick Gage? Okay, good. Then when he robs a fucking bank and you don't have him anymore, you're going to bitch that he's an idiot.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fuck social media with this guy right now, man. Guy did what he did. Again, did his time. And you know what? Booker T's got a point. If everybody did sit out here and take the business as seriously, try to find a picture of Gage smiling. I don't think there is one. I swear to God, I don't think there is.
Right. And I mean, that's the thing that I've been seeing, because I was watching that Chris Van Vliet interview the other day, and just like, he's telling him that he's a fan of his work. He likes the way that he does his interviews because he tells the stories well, and he's putting the guy over. But while he's putting the guy over, he's like kind of, his shoulders are like up, and he's like kind of scowling at him. Like, he's saying nice things about the guy, but he's still, and like, he mentions it later in the interview that like, he comes off as being kind of an intimidating presence, and Nick just nods his head. It's like, yeah, that's the point. Right. It's like, and I'm seeing these people that are like, oh, he's fucking living the gimmick. It's like, really such a bad thing? Is that really? As long as you're not out here being fucking low key and trying to actually challenge people to fights and trying to knock people out to prove that you're a tough guy, right. Like, as long as you're not doing shit like that, if you're not being an asshole about it. Unless that's being an asshole as part of your gimmick, MJF style. As long as you're not doing that, like, what's wrong with it?
Exactly. And, you know, I brought up the Briscoe brothers, and, you know, I did that for a reason. And Michael Smith actually brings up the exact quote I was thinking when I brought him up about people, you know, always ugly and this and that. When the Briscoe brothers tried out for WWE, they were told they weren't cosmetically pleasing.
Yes.
And Michael Smith, thank you for bringing that up, bring me back to it, which is the exact reason I brought that up. No, Nick Gage, and you know what? I don't think Nick Gage ever expects to go to a WWE. They'll never put him in, and I don't give a shit. I don't think he gives a fuck either. None of us should give a fuck. The fact that AEW had the balls to bring him in, the balls to put that fucking match on television, I really think that more fans should respect that rather than shit on that. Right. Really think about that. Again, a deathmatch wrestler who, I don't care if you think he's indie trash or this or that. Do y'all see the fucking publicity he's getting from this?
Mm-hmm.
See it? And whether it's him or AEW getting publicity, he's part of the reason they're getting the publicity for it.
Right.
So it's a win-win. Go ahead, Smark.
But I mean, just to say, I mean, like, first off, real quick, I actually had watched that promo in a weird coincidence Tuesday, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. So I watched it this week, the Briscoe Brothers promo, and I posted a link for it in the Mixler for anybody that wants to check it out. It's a really good promo. Unfortunately, it's 7 minutes long, so we can't really play it, but it's a fucking damn good promo. Yeah. But as far as the Nick Gage thing goes, it's like, they seeked him out, you know what I mean? So even if he's getting publicity because of AEW or AEW is getting publicity because of him, it's really sort of irrelevant. They're both working together. They're both getting the attention that they want from this.
Exactly. There were two guys in that match, Jericho and Gage. So whether, whatever publicity they're getting is warranted, but both those guys should be credited with it. I don't know, man. I really feel the Gage hate. Oh, he can't. How many punches did he throw? That wasn't what he was brought. He wasn't there to fucking chain wrestle. He was there to cut up and beat the fuck out of Jericho. If you wanted to see fucking kick, punch, go play your fucking video game.
Right.
Then you can kick, and punch your fucking balls off.
And like Michael Smith says to that point, I mean, it all lumps together Briscoes and Nick Gage for the same sort of reasons. He says nobody hired the Briscoe brothers because they were pretty boys. They got hired because they looked like two dudes who could legit fuck somebody up in the ring or die trying. That's part of what's missing in wrestling today. And I agree with that, because you just had, like, now everybody not everybody, but like there's a large majority of people that like try to be pretend mixed martial artists. Like everybody does the fucking kicks and tries to do the submissions and all of this, but it's being done by guys who look like part-time models. So it's like, that's really not, if you're a pretty boy, be a pretty boy, like it's just not very convincing. There's not enough people who look like they're genuine badasses. There's far too many people who are trying to act like they are, but are just doing so very unconvincingly. Yeah,
absolutely. And you're right. I mean, the Gage has that look. The Briscoes definitely, I 100% agree that they definitely have that look. Like they'll go in the ring and either, to quote what you said, either fucking win or die fucking trying. They will. Actually, to quote what Michael Smith said, and you quoted also. That's exactly what they look like. They will. And, I mean, the promos they do, they're out there grabbing dead chickens and, they're on their chicken farm, and they're just a couple of, they're just a couple of fucking regular guys like we are. That's why their promos are usually so good, because they're trying to tie into people like me, you, everyone else out there. Not everyone's got a chicken farm. I get that. I don't either. But, I don't know, man. It's just, I really think it's pretty cool that Booker T gets a guy like Nick Gage. Honestly, I would think Booker T would be the last guy in the world to get it with a guy like Nick Gage.
Actually, think about this for a second.
Okay.
They both have something in common. They both have a criminal history. I mean, I hate to be a dick about it, but they've both had to fight for respect in that very same industry, and you had people bringing up their past and try to use it against them. So it's like, they're not really too far apart from each other in certain regards.
You know what? I didn't put that two and two together, but you just definitely brought it together for me. You're right, and he might respect that. And you know what? We all should respect that. The fact that once again Nick Gage came out of fucking prison. He went. He took a little time off. Then he went right into GCW, and I got to be honest, man. I think he's done a real good job at making GCW his home, number one, and number two, just again trying to bring something into his life that'll keep him straight.
Right.
You know, give him something to do besides thinking about going out there and doing drugs, doing this and doing that. He gets to work with guys, that he's never worked with, David Arquette, and go out there and be the fucking Nick Gage he wants to be. So I don't know, man. I think he's done a great job at that, and I don't know, man. But again, I still think it's a little weird, even with the doing time thing, that a guy like Booker T. I mean, I'm sure fucking Cornette was losing his mind.
Sure.
I mean, surprised we didn't hear stories that Cornette was rushed to the hospital for a heart attack, a coronary, embolism, something.
Poor guy was just slapping his way through a Dairy Queen. He was so worked up.
My God, couldn't even find a Wendy's.
I can't imagine there's no worse feeling for Mr. Cornette than being able to not find a Wendy's.
God damn it, where's the beef?
Just has poor old... actually, no, I was going to say he has poor old Conrad scouring for Wendy's for him, but I always forget that Conrad's not one of his lackeys.
Ah, there you go. Anyway, I think we've spent enough time beating that fucking dead horse. On, we've talked about the whole match and this and that. There was a little Easter egg in that match, after match, when MJF went up there to talk.
Mm-hmm.
A little kind of a tribute to the pipe bomb promo. I did not catch this, but someone posted it, and I thought it was kind of cool, and I wanted to go ahead and play it for you guys. So here we go. Let me get a little volume, and we can go ahead and play this real quick. You ready?
Let's do it.
You ready?
Hmm?
Should I hit it?
Yes.
Want me to?
Sure.
Tell me.
Yeah, go ahead and hit that there button.
Sure.
Chris, as you sit there in more pain than you've ever been in your entire life, I need you to listen to me.
John Cena, while you lay there, hopefully as uncomfortable as you possibly can be, I want you to listen to me.
Who has this fucking time on their hands? Who has this kind of... Doug, did you do this? Yeah. Yeah. CM Punk, pipe bomb. Yeah. Sounded like, listen to me. Yeah, I Punk, pipe bomb. MJF, good. Yeah. I mean, how the fuck? But
I'm very sheepishly going to say that that did cross my mind when I heard it.
Really?
Because I was waiting, because I thought if anybody was going to make references to, because they were kind of doing some thinly veiled references earlier in the show.
Mm.
And I was thinking if anybody's going to make some references, it's going to be MJF. So I was kind of already on the lookout for him. And when he started that, I was like, this sounds familiar. But it wasn't the exact opening. So I was like, man, maybe this is happenstance. But if people think that, if it's a reference, it's a reference.
Right. Yeah, it is, man. I thought it was. I think it was. I think he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I would say definitely.
I think MJF is that. MJF is that clever, most definitely. But Smart, before we get too far off of the Nick Gage, MJF, Matt Cardona, we kind of brought all of them into it. Matt Cardona, once again, kind of keeping that heel persona going, not only doing what with PBR and this and that, but he's got a new T-shirt out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you should talk about it.
Sure. This is, of course, on the Pro Wrestling T-shirt page. It's MDC, Murder Death Cardona. This is in the fashion of the GCW logo with the MDC, and then underneath that it says the real Game Changer. It's underlined a couple of times. I'm going to post it here in this Mixler chat. I just love how he just, every little detail he pays attention to it, just uses anything possible at his disposal just to further his work as a heel. It's just so much creativity. I just love it.
Yeah, that is going to be our picture for this week's show. Actually, I am copying it right now. All right. Dude, this guy, the real Game Changer, fucking brilliant. The logo, the murder death card, absolutely great. Although it should be a K, but I get it. Add the C for his name. Awesome. Dude, this guy is, again, man, the heel stuff he's doing, the way he is just working this crowd. Once again, when Gage gets this title back, which we know he will, he is going to be the biggest babyface this company. They love him now. You wait. You just wait until he wins that title back. Just wait.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. The roof, they're going to blow off that fucking place, bro.
I would say even though, just in general, though, like anybody who beats him for that belt, it's going to be a big moment.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be... I would almost even say just that they could just use that for somebody else. Like Gage doesn't even really need it, but just whoever they have win that belt, it's going to be huge for them. I personally, I'd lobby for Warner to do it, but who knows?
Mance Warner.
Oh yes, I mean that's definitely a good clash of personalities too.
Also known as Shaheen's doppelganger.
That's right, Shaheen's stunt double. Get him out there.
Stunt double. There you go. Yeah, that wouldn't bother me, but I think the best way for this company to go is to have Gage win it back.
Right.
Eventually.
The only reason I say that somebody else should do it is they've kind of already that's betting what they've been doing. Because it's like Gage won it, then Ricky Shane Page won it, then Gage won it from him, then Cardona won it, and then to have him win it again is like just, I don't know. It's a little bit much, but it's not like nobody would mind. So.
Yeah. No, I don't think they would. I think that's the way to go. And then the whoever takes it off of Gage is, again, however you want to play the storyline, could be the biggest heel in the company, as we saw with Zack Ryder, or maybe end up being the biggest babyface. You just don't know. You don't know.
Right.
We don't know. But good shit that's going on right now with these two promotions. I got one last AEW thing. Two AEW things to get into. First of all, real quick, any of you into trading cards? If you've been waiting for AEW trading cards, they will be coming out this fall. Oh, yeah. That's right. Trading cards coming out this fall. That's pretty cool. Once again, AEW just gaining steam with so many deals. I mean, there's still a new company, dude. And they're getting this television deal. Another one. I know they're very heavily, with Turner, but now they're getting this. I think they're doing everything in the right order.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's almost like they had their ducks in a row before they started this company and had like a checklist, and they're just going down the list. All right, let's start television. Got the TV deal. Okay. Let's get another TV deal. Okay. Reality show. Okay, we got a reality show on that television. Okay, good. All right, let's add one more show. Rampage on Friday nights. So they're literally just going down a fucking checklist. And this had to be on there.
Right. Yeah, I guess they're the Upper Deck trading cards, the Upper Deck company.
Yes,
and
not
personally, I'm not Tops.
Not to be confused with an Upper Decker.
Well, yes, this is very true. Which I would not condone for any number of reasons. But
I would
but,
not. Not only would I not condone it, I would not cardone it.
Well, there we go. We have a show title. Very good. That always takes a little bit of the work out of what we do when we're done here. So I always appreciate when we can just come across a show title. But I was going to say, like, I don't personally collect the trading cards or whatever, and but there are a lot of people who do, and even if you don't, like I don't. The thing is WWE has them.
Right.
So somebody buys them. They wouldn't keep putting them out there if nobody was buying these fucking things. And then it's just another way to keep the brand like in your mind. If you go to the store and you see AEW trading cards, or if a kid sees them and they buy them, and just ways to keep the company on people's minds. That's always what you want to strive to do.
Right. And I know who makes those WWE trading cards.
Who's that?
My old account, GC Packaging. Literally 25 minutes from my house right now.
Oh, very cool.
I pass them every morning before I go as I'm on my way to the highway. But they make them right here in Allen, Texas, those cards. And I've been trying to get that account back, to be honest with you. If I do, see what I can do to get some uncut cards for some people. I know the lady's name over there. So let me see if I can get that account back. Anyway, they are made. But again, I just think this company is literally going down the list of what they would need to get their name out there, be a literal second company. Listen, Impact, they've tried for years and years, and they've tried for years and years. They're just not it. Their reputation, they've done, if you took a list, Smark, of Impact pros and cons, the cons would fucking tip the scale heavily.
Well, I think there's only really one con.
Not that con.
Next subject. Slam fucking dunk.
Oh, slapstick comedy. Who doesn't love it?
That's right.
All right. So anyway, I think this company's doing good. You get some upper decker cards now. Don't really put them in the upper decker or the upper deck.
That's right.
But pretty cool for them. And I believe the last AEW article we have to get into, Smark, is Adam Page reportedly, I want that word to be the prominent word in this article. Okay? Reportedly, which you could replace it with possibly if you want, is no longer in the AEW All Out main event. We were expecting him versus Omega. It seems like suddenly he's just out of the match. Don't know if he's been injured or what, but he's been rumored a long time for this major singles titles run. I mean, we've said before, Jericho said they were going to make a huge star out of this guy. There's really no reason for it in the article, but only thing I can think of is an injury to get him out of that main event, Smark. What else could you think of?
I mean, just it'd be kind of part of the storyline. I don't mean to be that guy, but just the idea of building him up to be a sympathetic figure and just building up the anticipation so that when he finally does break through and get the match and win the belt, which is what a lot of people seem to think is going to happen, and probably from a storytelling perspective is the right way to go. It just it means that much more. Now, I mean, you don't want to keep doing like how WWE does, where you have them just lose all the time and people sour on them, and then you have them win. But if you just kind of tease it a little bit, you pull it back, you keep, go a little bit of a stop and start, it's not such a bad thing. And I mean, we don't know for sure that we don't know what the main event is going to be, what the title match is going to be for sure. Mm-hmm. So until we know that, there's no way of knowing for sure whether or not he's out of, the all-out main event.
Yeah, they could work him back in. We don't know what's going on, but again, that's why I said in the beginning, I want you to kind of focus on that reportedly words. And there's not really like Dave Meltzer reported. Even if Meltzer reported, I'd be like, it still says reportedly, which is questionable in my book.
It's just kind of it's a little bit kind of funny though, because I was looking at the article that you'd sent to me in Messenger, and the full title is Adam Page reportedly no longer in AEW All Out main event. Mm-hmm. But Facebook cut out the full headline, so what I saw as you sent it to me was Adam Page reportedly no longer in AEW. And I said, wow, I was not paying attention, did not see that. That is some real news. I guess that explains why he lost.
That would be real news. I'm glad you opened that and checked it out. Good job, Smark. Because if you started talking about that he was fired, I would just let you go for a little while. Anyway, speaking of guys that were not completely sure about their future, Smark, which I guess we can tie that in right there. F4W, WON, which is Dave Meltzer, they're claiming Brock has already signed a deal with a company that is not WWE. And from rumors today, it's not AEW either.
Yes.
Which
that's another one here.
Right.
One of the ones I had sent you was regarding Brock Lesnar rumors of him coming to AEW. There's nothing to them. Take 3. We're gonna assume that I fucked up the second one too. Regarding Brock Lesnar rumors of him coming AEW, that's how they wrote it. There's nothing to them at all at this moment. They fucking butchered the way that this is written. Tony has never been a business discussion. Tony has never had a business discussion with Lesnar, and those close to Lesnar said the stories of Lesnar secretly signing with AEW were 100% inaccurate. I'm going to do something I don't often do, and I'm going to post this in the Mixler chat so that everybody else can see how fucking terribly written this was.
Dude.
My God. Whoever's child wrote this, they need to have a stern talking to.
Yeah, this was not your fault. This was written awfully, but I believe that leaves 2 companies with the possibility. Either UFC or Bellator. And UFC, I believe, will be the one to grab him.
Yeah, I don't think Bellator... I don't even know if Bellator has that kind of money. Unless there's a off chance of him like going to one of those weird fucking like freak show boxing type deals.
Right.
Like one of the fucking Logan Paul, Jake Paul type shit where it's just like this giant spectacle that's funded by some millionaire that we don't ever actually see, but ends up making a shitload of money and is all over social media, even though it's like a disaster of a show.
Right. Some billionaire. Maybe he signed with DAZN or whatever. I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out soon who he did. But according to, Meltzer, it's not WWE. And according to that article, it's not AEW, no matter how horribly written it is.
Yep.
So there you go. Speaking of F4W and Wrestling Observer newsletter, Smark, one of their reporters is claiming he was thrown out of a WWE event. Let's go ahead and put this out there. Last week, the guy's name is JJ Williams. His Twitter handle, JJ Williams, WON, if you want to find him. He says, last week I was singled out and removed from the TV taping due to my association with WONF4W. Security took a picture of my ID, had me delete the photos from my phone, and escorted me off the property. My time in the devotion will no longer be given to their company going forward. Tony Khan replied, see you at hashtag AEW Dynamite Homecoming. JJ, we're looking forward to your visit. Smark, am I an asshole if I'm skeptical of some of this accusation? Not all of it. Some of it.
I mean, yeah, you have a right to be.
Okay. Thank you. He may have been thrown out. Maybe. Because of who he is. That's fine. Took a picture of your ID. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure about that. Had me delete the photos on my phone. No. That's where I question. Why people take photos on their phone of... if you said, made me delete the videos on my phone, I'm all in. Photos. What photos would you have of the event that someone else couldn't get? Seriously.
Right.
Okay. Now, maybe it was the SmackDown taping that they didn't want the spoilers getting out. But
from what I was led to believe, I think it was the NXT taping. I've seen it reported as that.
Well, and that's again, okay. Okay, if and that's even more, okay, what pictures are you going to get that no one else will?
Right.
First of all, I'm not defending WWE or NXT throwing him out. Absolutely not. I just have a question about that deleting from the photos from your phone. I don't know, man. Just that's the one thing for some reason that I keep going back to that I'm like, this something's not adding up to me on this. I mean, you're saying they escorted him off the property, which they may have done. I'm not going to deny that. Almost seems like he's just looking to find a reason to start sucking the AEW dick.
Christopher Kane here says CZW made my knees delete a video off my camera before. So I guess, I mean, they're obviously two different companies, but if CZW would do it, I wouldn't be surprised if WWE would do it. They do. They're
video.
I believe both things are entirely possible.
Video. I said if it was video, I wouldn't actually complain. Photos. Pictures. Photos. It says photos. He says photos. It doesn't say videos.
Right.
So, I don't know, man. A little skeptical. Not quite sure what's completely happening here, but I don't know. If WWE did throw him out, shitty on them. I mean, you're throwing out a journalist. You don't think he's going to get out. But I'm not saying allegedly they threw him out, but deleting the pictures off of your phone, fuck you. Right. That would have been my answer. Fuck you. Who couldn't have got the same pictures I took? We're all at this show. Go make every fucking person delete every picture on their phone. Go make every person out there fucking do it. Right now. Oh, you're not going to do that? Then suck my dick.
I mean, it's hard to say, like, what exactly it was that went on, you know, because there's always the three sides of every story, you know.
Right.
What happened to him, what they did, the actual truth of the matter, that whole thing. It doesn't seem like WWE likes the Wrestling Observer all that much, so it's entirely possible because, you know, they like to control the narrative. They like to control what goes out to the press. They like to issue their own little press release statements and try to tell people what it is that's going on, but in their own way, in a way that always makes them look good. And they like to try to mitigate the bad things that happen within that company.
Right.
And because of that, I wouldn't be surprised if anybody that was associated with, Wrestling Observer would be treated unfairly by them. That is entirely possible. But then it's also possible that he's exaggerating or maybe manipulating what it was that went on. Like I said, well, we don't know. It's hard to say.
It is. And I'm not denying he got thrown out. I'm not denying that they took a picture of his identification, probably to stick it up on the fucking wall and say he can't come in anymore. My only question, for some reason, it just caught my fucking attention, was to delete the photos from my phone.
Mm-hmm.
If he had used the word videos, I would have said, well, there's not really supposed to be video in it anyway.
Right.
But photos all day. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess maybe if there was something that was kind of spoiler-y, that they might have wanted to delete that, but then there was other people that were taking photos and posting them, and they weren't doing anything about it. So it's a weird situation.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, I'm gonna take a pee break, Smark.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta pee pretty bad. Long day, lots of water. So we are gonna take a quick break. We will be right back. I'm going to jam some music for you people, and give me about, I'm going to go 4 minutes.
4-minute warning.
4 minutes to pee, and then however long it takes to get back on the air. Anyway, I will be right back. Thank you, and enjoy yourself. Here we go.
Salte de mi lado, 'cause I'm bringing the heat. Cuando todo se termine, si tú quieres, yo regreso. I'm not scared of you, my brother, 'cause...
Oh, yeah. Refreshed. Feeling much better. Thank you guys for letting me do that real quick. All right. Now, we're going to get right back to it. Let me make sure. Record is hit. I thought we were done with the old AEW news, but Smark actually has one more little thing we can get into, and I kind of want to get into it. So, Smark, without further ado.
That's right. All right. It's from old John Pollock, everybody's friend, on Twitter, says AEW sold over 10,000 tickets today during the pre-sale for the First Dance. It's the name of their Rampage show, the second Rampage show that they're going to be doing at the United Center in Chicago. I was told that there are seats in all price categories held back from Monday's public on sale at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 4 words by Darby Allin proved very effective.
I agree with that last statement. 4 words. Well, best in the world, I guess, is the words they were looking for. He said a little more than that, but anyway, the tease obviously was effective. Obviously was. They've sold a ton of tickets to that show, and people are all over saying, "Hey, look, if you want tickets, get in the queue. You're not going to get them." Now, here's the problem. What if he pulls out at the last minute? Which I don't think he will. I don't think they would do this unless he was officially signed, sealed, done, no questions. The last time they teased him even thinking about signing with AEW, even he was like, guys, stop mentioning my name, and they did.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, that's kind of funny that you say that, because just earlier while I was watching SmackDown, I was thinking to myself, what if he purposely just pulled out just to fuck them over? Like, just because he thought that would be funny to do, like, as a prank. Because there is no way that they are teasing this hard if they're not going to deliver. Because everybody's talking about it, everybody knows, everybody's expecting it. If you build yourself up like this and then you don't deliver on what it is that everyone is expecting, that you yourselves have been teasing, You just took a shotgun, not a pistol, but a shotgun to your credibility.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you just shot your foot clear off. You didn't even shoot yourself with the foot. You blew that fucker off your body.
Yeah, you really are. But again, they haven't said the name. They're teasing that he may be coming. You can tease a lot of things to get people to buy tickets. Great PR move. If listen,
but again, what you do if you do not deliver at CM Punk and or at the very least Bryan Danielson, one of them, you have officially become Impact. No one will ever take any big signing that you tease seriously ever again, especially when you come off the heels of, your game-changing signing being Christian Cage. Like, if you do this again, it's over. It is over.
Hall of Fame worthy, Smark.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I agree. It would be shitty of him to try to do the old wrestling swerve with people. I mean, Jesus Christ, if you thought Vince Russo was hated, Tony Khan would be the most hated man in this business for a long time. A long time. So, I don't know, man. But just that little tease by Darby Allin shows that CM Punk is definitely still a draw for someone. Definitely still a fucking not just a big draw for someone, Smark. So, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens with this. I mean, let's face it. The best time to bring this guy out would be a Chicago show.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, nobody is going to, there's no bigger fan base for him than his hometown crowd.
Absolutely. And people are literally buying tickets, hoping, praying to be chanting CM Punk and Cult of Personality hits.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see, man. But meanwhile,
these tickets, man.
Yeah.
The ticket prices they were talking about, and I wish I could give you an exact number. I might be able to look it up, but they were talking about on the Observer, like most of these ticket prices are like, we're talking $400 a pop. Wow. Like, this shit is not cheap. There are a lot of, I mean, maybe some of the like farther up tickets, the nosebleed sections or whatever, but the majority of the actual good seats they want an arm and a leg, and people are still paying for them. People are still buying them. It is basically every source right now is saying they're expecting that the show's going to sell out. Wow. So if you have all these people paying fucking top dollar for these ticket prices, paying these top dollar ticket prices, and you don't deliver to them what it is that you've been teasing and what they're like hoping and expecting and wanting and basically at this point demanding. Ooh, not only are you shooting yourself over in terms of credibility, and this term is kind of overused because it was kind of what we were talking about happening in GCW. You might be setting up for a literal fucking riot. Like, that stadium might get trashed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dude, I'm just imagine the fucking Cult of Personality play. Not that they would pay money to buy a song just to troll people. Just imagine they did, though. And then, like, MJF or someone walked out in Chicago. Oh, my God, dude. That would be the ultimate heat for MJF. Oh, the problem is it sounds almost too good to do, It would be...
They can do it as long as they just at the end of the show they give them what they want.
Maybe that would be a great tease, though. The music hits and MJF comes out and challenges them or whoever. That would be pretty fucking cool, right there.
Or just full on, like not even like you just full on have him come out and he's got like the hoodie on like Punk wears and shit like that, just decked up in the hoodie and the trunks and shit like that, and then he has his back to the crowd and he turns around and flings the hood part of it back, and it's MJF. Like, ooh, Lord, that would be the feeling of a lifetime.
That would be such great heat, man. Such great heat. So, I don't know, man. Once again, AEW just checking off those boxes of great things to keep going for your company, and you can't fault them for it. But there's so many things they can do, but I don't think they would tease like this if they didn't have CM Punk locked up. So, look, man, I'm going to wait till I see the guy in the ring cutting a promo before I even get my hopes up.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I guess that's all we got on that. We only got a couple more things here, Smark. Let's see. We got to all yours, right?
I think so. I think it was pretty much hit all of them.
No, there's one more. You got one more.
Combing over.
No, you got one more.
Yes. Okay, so technically speaking, too, because there's one that I really want to get into. That's going to be the main event. But just a real quick note here, again from the Observer. Hopefully this one's written better. The Tokyo Dome will be undergoing a renovation shortly, something that could last until June 4th and could affect the Wrestle Kingdom show. So that'll be interesting. Obviously, every year for the last, a decade plus, fucking Wrestle Kingdom has been at the Tokyo Dome on the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be interesting to see if that ends up happening. And that's still a bit of a ways away. If that ends up being compromised. New Japan's had taken so many hits just because of the COVID and the Olympics and things like that, and injuries throughout their roster. That would be just another big fucking just bad luck streak for them. But
yeah, it's almost like they decided to do this just to get everyone's mind off of the other reasons they could be having some problems with this show.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, man. We'll have to see about all that shit. But yeah, we'll have to see if... I wouldn't doubt if it's ready and they still have it there.
Oh, yeah, probably. It's just something to kind of keep an eye out for, I suppose.
Yeah, most definitely. So, definitely keep that eye out there. I got a quick one to get into. This was posted today by Lance Storm. And someone found out that Tammy Sitch, formerly Sunny, was trying to sell her used implants.
I was going to say children for drug money, but somehow this is equally unsettling.
No, and I do mean used implants, and I do mean tit implants. Lance Storm chimed in on this little thing on Twitter, said this was my fault. When she told me she was getting them redone, I joked if she could keep the old ones, and some crazy fan would likely buy them and pay big dough. Then after that, he replies once again and says, I'm also all but positive they have to drain them before taking them out. So I think she just got 2 samples and claimed they were hers. Now, supposedly, some guy paid $999.99 for them.
Wow. I feel like for that much, if you would have just offered her that much, you could have had what is in her body.
Probably more. Mm-hmm. Now,
well, yeah, you would have had the bonus gift of chlamydia, but
well, a good pill, little penicillin, Smart.
I before you continue on though, I love the idea of this is where we are, where Lance Storm is alleging that she sold fake used implants.
Yeah,
this is the most wild fucking. There's so much going on right now that. I'm amazed that I didn't get wind of this, and this is such a fucking wild story.
Yeah. Now, again, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but Jesus, my guy, this is and I don't think they do have to. I mean, why would they drain them? I don't think they do. They just pull them the fuck out and try. They try not to cut them, of course, but I don't think they drain them. So, I don't know. But Almost $12,000, dude. Almost $12,000, and basically $12,000 for used implants.
And exactly like Michael Smith's saying, so basically 12 grand. For 12 grand, you could have begged Sonny. Probably could have begged Sonny, like I was saying, yeah.
Probably twice.
My question is, like, what are the legalities of this? Where would you be able to go that you could put used implants, like, on the market? Like, how is this legal?
Silk Road. I'm kidding. I don't know.
Probably, though, but...
it was an auction, so that sounds like something eBay might do.
Oh, man. Yeah, I guess eBay, but when you said auction, I was hoping for a literal in-person auction with an auctioneer talking loudly and quickly. 25,000 for 35,000, gonna get it 35,000, 45,000, sold for 12 grand.
Let me get 5,000 for the booby, 5,000 for the booby, 5,000 for the booby, and we got 5,000, 6,000 for the titty, 6,000 for the titty, 6,000, and let's go 7,000 for the tatas. Anyone got 7,000 on the tatas?
Sold to the simp in the back row.
No, how about 11,999? Okay, we got one right there. Sold to the cuck.
This is just so weird, though, because, like, you know he's going to fuck it. Like, let's just not beat around the bush. You know that the guy that paid 12 grand for Sonny's used implants is going to put his dick on it. Oh,
it's going in a sock and being used for disgusting things.
May video of this never hit the internet is all I hope for.
Oh, Ricochet be fingering his ass to this.
That's an exact quote from him, too.
What did I say?
I've been fingering my ass to this one, says Ricochet.
Did I say something wrong? I'm sorry. I apologize.
Is that what the little, like, noise is before his theme music starts? Is it's like the finger popping out of his butt?
Ricochet.
Bing, boom. It's Ricochet, everybody. Make some noise.
That's a piece of poop ricocheting off the wall. Mm-hmm.
Good old Ricochet. I wish him the best on main event.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't? But speaking of main event, which would probably be up on Peacock instead of anywhere else, Nick Khan, we've talked about the Khans, many of them tonight, but Nick Khan with WWE is touting that Peacock's numbers, believe it or not, I know everyone's saying that, it's that they're going to lose people and this and that, but believe it or not, they're saying viewership numbers are up considerably from their pre-pandemic WWE Network numbers. He says, as you recall, when we announced... hold on one second here. When we announced the Peacock deal, we said one of the key reasons for that partnership was to bring WWE to a product to a wider audience than those subscribed to WWE Network. We expected viewership of WWE to increase, particularly as Peacock grows its base of users. So now they did have their little little conference call yesterday, talking about their quarter two finances. They've gained. They did very well this year. They I'll just put it like that. I think it was like a 14.5% growth for this year. I really don't want to get into those numbers. No one gives a shit about that. But anyway,
outside of just the idea that it made me laugh that he cited the fact that efficiency is to credit for their increase in revenue, which just is a funny thing because by efficiency he just means because I fired a shitload of people, we've made more money. It's just like this guy.
Yeah, pretty much. And I get it, dude. I'm sure a lot of people feel that way, and I think a lot of people thought that viewership would go down due to those things, but when they signed on for Peacock, Smark, me and both of us said this, no matter how we look at it, is a great business move because of how many people already have a Peacock account.
Right.
And
you
have
can get one for free with Comcast.
Or Xfinity.
Well, yeah.
I think both. I think they're the same company in a way, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the service they provide is Xfinity from Comcast.
Right. So, I mean, it's just kind of, it all ties in. I like I said, we both said that their viewership was definitely going to probably get a little spike. Now, can they haven't been on very long, what, 4 months, I believe they just said. And will that curiosity go down? We'll have to see. If they don't mention it next year, we know what happened. Or next quarter, sorry.
Right.
We'll know what happened. The numbers went down.
Yeah, I mean, and that's about it. Like you said, we both said that this was a good deal for them. And I mean, just based off the money alone, regardless of how many people have eyes on them or how many people they bring over to Peacock, that deal alone was fucking insane for them.
Oh, it was, man. Great business move. Again, they went from having the numbers we always heard on WWE Network were pretty much right around that 200,000 mark. And you've got 42 million subscribed over there on Peacock. You're gonna get more eyes on it no matter what. You're gonna get more people. Curiosity, again, is one thing that's gonna get people watching it. How long will that last? Who fucking knows? But Smart, we got one more little piece of news to get into. Which ties right into kind of a little bit what we're talking about. Nick Khan just kind of taking shit over, not worrying about what's going on, not worrying about what people say about him. So go ahead, man.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up here. I'm going to read this twice because I want this to set in for everybody. This is easily my favorite thing that has come out this week in terms of news. This is from Sean Ross Sapp. This is something that Nick Khan said, though. Nick Khan says he and WWE don't look at any specific organization as competition. When asked about AEW, they see sleep and every form of entertainment as competition. One more time. Nick Khan says he and WWE don't look at any specific organization as competition. When asked about AEW, they see sleep and every form of entertainment as competition. So this guy literally said, Nick Khan, shrewd businessman, we've given him a lot of credit, literally said that their competition is people deciding to go to sleep instead of watching their programming. Well, that is the most wild shit.
That's Mark. When I kick back and I'm a little buzzed, the best form of entertainment I can think of would be to sleep.
It's just wild when like a chairman or executive of a company says that people would rather go to sleep than watch their programming. That is just so fucking crazy. I mean, it's true.
It is.
But it's still like and people are still having a field day with this one. But like, if when she was in charge, if Dixie Carter were to say this, or if anybody on Impact now would say this, people would have a fucking field day. Like, this is the most fucking ridiculous thing to say that you're competing with. People would rather go to sleep than watch your show.
I think calling sleep a form of entertainment is, first of all, the one of the biggest stretches. But I mean, listen, here's an idea. Put on a product that'll keep people awake. And the fact that they say, oh, we don't see AEW as competition. Why are you on Tuesdays? Why can't you break 500-some thousand on NXT? Oh, there are rookies. Shut the fuck up, Nick Khan. No. It's not the way it works. Just not. But again, seeing sleep as a form of entertainment shows, in my opinion, how delusional these people are. Nick Khan is a fucking Vince McMahon yes man already. That fast, boom, Stockholm Syndrome, yes man already. Ass smooching, most definitely.
Or you could even go the other way with this. Like, this could also be some like Megalon Michaels kind of shit. Some like ultra villain type stuff, where not only do they want you to watch WWE instead of AEW, they want you to watch WWE instead of fucking YouTube videos of guys eating cheeseburgers in their car. They want you to choose WWE over reading a book, over fucking playing stickball. Like, just this idea that they view that their competition is the world. Every other form of entertainment humanly possible, regardless of what that might be, sunbathing, working in your garden, whatever the fuck. They want you to believe that you're going to watch WWE over any form of possibly fun that you could be having. Like, it is the most wild shit that they think that their competition is literally everything. Not just, it's like, oh, we don't care about AEW. We want to compete with people who fucking recycle.
Yeah, which is scary. I mean, they're pretty much considering they're up against Sleep and the, Housewives of Atlanta or something.
That's right.
So, just stupid fucking statements from Nick Khan right here.
And I'm with Dark here, though. He says sleep is entertainment to me. Sleep is entertainment to me as well. It's the most fun I can be having.
Sleep is fucking relaxation.
Mm.
Sleep is a necessity.
A simple, bare necessity.
Exactly. You could die without sleep. You're not going to die if you don't watch WWE. Well,
clearly you haven't heard the news that Sasha Banks is back.
Well, I mean, there you go. Now I can live. But I mean, I know there's some idiots that may,
Sasha Baron Corbin says they would do the Clockwork Orange technique if they could. Fucking Nick Gage just having people strapped to chairs with their eyelids pried open, just endlessly playing fucking WWE Raw on a loop.
If they could. Jesus Christ. If they could. You don't think they're doing it already? Come on, man. Come on.
It's in the pipeline for sure.
Come on, man. But yeah, this is just the talk about an idiotic statement that how high was he?
I'm surprised he would. I'm surprised that he would say this. I'm surprised that he would be honest in such a way.
There you go. Well, sometimes people just say the honest thing out loud, Smart.
It would have been just so much easier to say, yeah, we think AEW is competition, but we're winning that competition. Like, mic drop, that's it. You said, no, we're competing with sleep. We're competing with the world.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you could have just left it at, listen, we see every form of entertainment as competition.
Yeah, they've said that a billion times. I wouldn't have read this if he just said that. That's typical WWE rhetoric. But, but when he added the phrase "and sleep," I promise you, I read this Thursday night and I laughed for a solid 5 minutes. Like, I wish I would have read this for the first time on air because I almost fucking puked. I was laughing so hard.
I mean, obviously, some forms of entertainment will not be in here for wrestling fans. Sex for most wrestling fans.
You could technically still have sex. Like, a solo act is still music.
All right, the Jackson 5 you're talking about.
Actually, yeah, that's perfect, yes.
ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Do, re, mi. Baby, you and me. Oh, baby, give me one more chance. All right, anyway. Smark, that's all the fucking news we got, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, SmackDown. I did not have a chance to watch tonight. I had no way to watch. I could have come in here, but my kids' room. I kind of want to let them. They were gone all week. They just got home last night. I want to let them relax. Anything on SmackDown besides Sasha Banks returning, which we knew was around the corner?
It is. Yeah. Once again, boss time. Sound the horns.
It's boss time.
I mean, not a terrible lot. Edge is back still. Or I guess there's some. That was a weird way to say that.
Edge is back still.
It's just still back. But no, I guess the only real sort of interesting thing was they're still doing, the John Cena Roman Reigns feud. You had John Cena coming out, and the whole thing was like Roman's thing was that John Cena is the same as over and over again, repetitive, boring. He referred to him as nobody wants missionary position for 16 years. Well, John Cena comes out and he immediately says, first, let's get this right off the bat. If anybody can entertain you for 16 years in missionary position, you need to marry them. They're well worth your time. So Cena comes out, just openly embraces the fact that he's now known as missionary, man. That was fun. What's wild about this, though, is that he basically said more of the same about how Roman just changes his stuff up because he doesn't know who he is and he just does whatever to try to stay relevant and entertaining. He even used his real name, which was weird because he called him like something along the lines of like Joe the Phony. And I'm just like, this is like, why is like John Cena all of a sudden like the internet wrestling fan? Like, why is this his new gimmick? Is he just trying to pander to the IWC people who don't like Roman Reigns? This is just a weird way to go about things.
Well, after apologizing to China, he's probably very into the internet now.
This is very true.
Right. Or no. It was China he apologized to.
Yeah.
John Cena.
Like, I feel like if they could do that, they would do that.
Oh yeah,
in a promo. Like Roman wants to, but just Cena's like, no, you can't have me out there like that. That's gonna fucking kill my career after this, and I have more important matters.
You know where Raw is next week?
I actually do not. Where are they?
I don't know, but I was gonna say wherever they are, it'd be funny if he went. Like if they were in Michigan, he's like, the country of Michigan, John.
That would be pretty great.
And he would just look at me like, well, you motherfucker. Offend anyone lately, dickhead?
It's just so odd, though. It's just odd to have John Cena be like the voice of the internet, while the people who used to openly despise Roman Reigns, but there was more of that.
If there's anything odd about John Cena, it's him coming out with hair, dude. And a bald spot, which is like, what? I mean, I know he's getting old. I know it's nothing he can help. I'm not shitting on him for it, but I mean, if you got a bald spot and for years you've had this fade going on, maybe just go back to the fade, brother.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, interesting, actually. You asked me where Raw is this coming week. Mm-hmm. Get ready for chants galore because they are in Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, the country of Chicago.
Yep, the good old country of Chicago.
The good old country of Chicago.
So whoever is in charge of like toning down the fans, they're going to be in for a long one that night.
Oh,
because a bunch of people who paid to see WWE are going to spend their entire time chanting CM Punk.
Dude, do you not see the brilliance of AEW right now?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
That actually is a really smart move that they announced that right before the Raw in Chicago.
Is it not? Oh, my God.
Let's throw a fucking grenade into this hornet's nest.
Dude, that is literally what they're doing at this point. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they thought of that. If they did, kudos to them because, man, that's interesting if they knew. To announce that when WWE is heading to the Raw might be interesting, believe it or not.
Yeah, at the very least for that. I'm already looking forward to just the reports of them editing the sound during the show.
Oh, that'll yeah. There are going to be loud CM Punk chants. I mean, literally, the just, no one would have even thought about it until now where he's getting mentioned and, teased. Oh, if AEW thought of this and this is what they're doing, brilliant. If they didn't, we just completely have a conspiracy theory going on here.
Yeah, either are possible.
I'm kind of definitely wanting to go with the latter. That we have a conspiracy theory going on here. I like it. I like this. I like both. I like it being true and a conspiracy theory. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
I do. Because, us conservatives are all conspiracy theorists.
I get it. And the funny thing about this, I'm looking at their live event page, is all of everything except for Raw, the icon for the show that, is corresponding to the date that they're selling tickets for. There's a giant logo alongside of the show, like let's say SmackDown. I'm going to post it in the Mixler chat that says Summer of Cena. And he has a little hand doing the "You Can't See Me" sign.
So you can't see Summer?
Nope.
Nope.
Cannot see Summer.
Nope. She was fired a long time ago.
Actually, you can if you follow her on Instagram, and I kind of recommend that because she's not fond of clothes from what I've seen.
No, and that's a positive. She's a very, very good-looking woman.
That's right. Yeah. And so then real quick, I was just going to say that the whole Roman Reigns, John Cena thing was kind of the crux of SmackDown. You had they did a contract signing with Balor and Cena, and Balor ended up getting jumped, and Cena ended up taking the contract and signing it himself. So if there was ever any doubt, you will be getting the John Cena Roman Reigns match at SummerSlam. But since he is in the chat room, I feel obligated to mention this. While Cena is out there at the beginning of the show talking about Roman, calling him a phony and this, that, and the third, Baron Corbin shows up. Mm-hmm. And this poor man, he has his hair grown out, but he has obviously the big bald spot. He's like unshaven. He looks sleep deprived. He's got a t-shirt, like a button-up shirt on, but like the buttons are all fucking frayed. There's like only 2 or 3 that are actually buttoned up. There's what appears to be ketchup stains all over his shirt. I fully appreciate his ability to commit to the idea that like his life is in shambles. But he comes out and he cuts his promo literally talking about how his wife, how he can't sleep anymore because they're going to take his house, they're going to take his car, he can't sleep, his wife's going to leave him, she's going to take his kids, and because of what happened to him on last episode of SmackDown, he can no longer perform. And so this guy is sitting there, and it's so weird though, because I've talked about this before, but he goes out there and he tells everybody that they're going to take all his shit, that his wife left him and took the kids. And now on top of all of this, his dick doesn't work. And the crowd is loudly booing him. I'm just sitting there thinking, this is the cruelest shit. I understand he's a heel, but what did he do that was so wrong that his entire life falling apart, people are rejoicing in? This is just fucking evil and weird.
Well, he sucks. I commend the crowd. I would like to give them all medals if I could.
If you look under your seat, you will find a medal. It is made of chocolate, but that's a treat for later.
I would like to see that. Good. Jesus Christ, such a stupid fucking thing they're doing with him. But I'm amazed. I hear people that hated him are starting to feel bad for him. Oh, I feel so bad for him. It's a storyline. The man is still getting fucking paid.
It is a storyline, but still, it's just oh my God, you kind of almost do feel bad for the guy, or at least the character. Obviously, it's not so much happening to the guy, but it's just a weird idea for a character. Is this clinically depressed Baron Corbin? Who pitched this fucking idea?
I don't like it.
He's literally, but he, like I said, he said everything that had gone wrong for it, but he's literally begging John Cena for money during the promo. He's like, yeah, if you could do anything to help me, if you can give me some money, or if you could even just put me in one of your movies, come on, I need something. And this is all during the promo. He literally did ask him for a spot in his Suicide Squad movie that's coming out. But of course, the whole joke is that it's obviously already been filmed and whatnot, which was also another interesting thing because the Suicide Squad movie, they were advertising for it during AEW, but they were specifically not just regular commercials. They were mentioning AEW in the ad. So They were mentioning AEW in the ad for a John Cena movie for all intents and purposes. Which is a weird, synergy crossover thing.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. So,
Derek brings up Baron Corbin fits today, considering people may be evicted from their homes. It's a great thing to have people thinking about for your entertainment program. This will help fucking sell a few t-shirts. This is all about putting smiles on people's faces like their mission statement claims to do.
oh yeah.
And an equally important point, Sacha Baron Corbin says he's tall and cool in regards to Baron Corbin.
One is true, one is not. I will leave that up to you to figure out which is which.
But yeah, I figured I would mention that. That was pretty much the crux of the show, was that it was built on the Roman Reigns John Cena feud. They did end up signing the contract that leads to the SummerSlam match. Sasha Banks is back, and big surprise, she already turned on Bianca Belair, and she's a heel again, and they're having a match.
Michael Smith said he's tall and lame. That's my man right there.
Well, yeah. And that's what the world's about.
The fuck
it's about
I'm
differing
talking
opinions.
The fuck I'm talking about. Tall and fucking lame. Looks like a manager at Applebee's. No, he looks like the dishwasher at Applebee's. That's what he looks like. The dishwasher. Oh, I could always use a good dishwasher. That was
I gotta say,
Bruce Lee. Dragon Story, Bruce Lee.
Yeah. As somebody who has often worked in restaurants, usually there are some that aren't, but usually like the dishwashers are always like just the biggest fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Like I always hated dealing with them because they and I don't blame them, but they don't give a fuck because they're not being paid a lot of money, and I feel bad for them in that regard. But like I can't change that fact. I would want them to be paid more money, but they're not being paid more money. They're not being treated particularly well by other people. So like they're already surly and they're treating you like shit, and you're not even asking for it. But then because they're being an asshole to you, you start being an asshole to them, and it becomes a cycle.
It's a bad cycle, Smart.
Mm-hmm.
People just shouldn't be assholes. No assholes.
No assholes.
All right. Speaking of a couple of assholes, let's go ahead and wrap this show up, asshole.
That sounds good. I thought you were going to transition into plugs. I was like, speaking of some assholes, hi, Marks. I was like, okay, that's not nice. Those are our friends, Box. Come on. I mean, I know sometimes cheese can be a bit much at times.
Just thought I would again reference last week's show and call you an asshole, since I named the last week's show basically ass, almost slurring Smark.
There you go. There you go.
I was going a completely different way than you were thinking, sir.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But definitely, as Smark was mentioning, they are our friends. So you guys want to be checking out the high marks over there. That's right. Where are you going to check them out? You're going to go to Mixler.com/Metal Mint Network. That's right. 2 T's in Mint. Mixler.com/Metal Mint Network. You're going to go there Sunday nights, 8:30 p.m. You're going to listen to them live, and you're going to listen to Cheeseman and Mojo and G-Wiz, and you are going to thank me. Trust me. You will. And if you want to keep thanking me, check out Bobby Blades and Bobby Anthem. They are on the Inhuman Experience because they are the Inhumans. So go over there and take a listen to them on any and all of the podcast platforms that you download your podcasts. And of course, we've got Eric, Doug, and Daniel over there on the Everything Unscripted Wrestling podcasts. A bunch of great guys having a great time every show they do. So check them out on Blog Talk Radio, and once again, all those great platforms you get your podcast from. And of course, we've got Steve Milan out there. He's sharing the show, and it's greatly appreciated. And he is over there. He's reviewing films on Letterboxd, boxd.com/Stephen Milan. Make sure you add 2 L's to Milan when you type that bad boy. And if you're looking for us, you can find us on iHeart, Spreaker, Stitcher, Anchor, YouTube, and of course all your user podcast platforms. Smart.
You got it. Mondays 8:30 p.m. on the Metal Med Podcast Network on the Mixler Machine. It is Cheese on Sports with the Cheese Man. Sundays 10:30 a.m. on the Metal Med Podcast Network on the Mixler Machine. It is the Mo Dirk City Machine Guns with Mojo with Dirk. Be sure to check them out. And also, last never least, be sure to check out our friends at Planet Raconteur. It's the Planet Raglan Tour podcast with Bobby Anthem, Papa Dave Sincere, and Yuck Nasty. Season 1 in its entirety is available for you, and Season 2 is rolling out. So be sure to check that out wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, roll that shit out. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Chat room. Definitely appreciate everybody coming on in. Bobby Anthem, Christopher Kane, Dirk, Sasha Baron Corbin, and Michael Smith. Appreciate all you guys hanging with us tonight. All night with us tonight. Pretty much everyone, all you guys stayed in the chat all night, and I definitely appreciate that. Downloaders, whoever's getting this show on wherever you're getting the show, it's greatly appreciated. Smark, that means we got the weekend coming up, brother. I am happy to have it. I am exhausted, and that means I will be seeing you Wednesday, my friend.
You got it.
All right. On that note, everybody have a great weekend. See ya.
Adios.
Can't stay here. You got to go home. Go home. Go home. It's time to take your drunken ass home. It's all right. If you don't know what to do with yourself, take your drunken ass home. Yeah.